we've been here since 1972, and my wife and I, Grace and myself, were from both farming backgrounds. She's from Awanui, a dairy farm up there, and I was sort of from a sheep and beef farm down here. And we're fairly well down on the pecking order of inheritance, the family farm, so we decided to go share milking in the Waikato for 1 year in wages, and then 5 years on share milking. And it was a bit of a tie, and it's fairly mundane, so I sort of wanted to get back to Gisborne, where we family are from. I think of 3 generations of Newmans here. And we did a fair bit of share farming with maize for a while, and grain, and then this place came up. I always wanted to get back into sheep and beef. And we bought 600 acres in 1972. And those trees, the macrocarbas you see on the skyline there, on that ridge line, there's 7 hectares there, and that was slipping, and they were trying to hold it with poplars, but there was a dead loss job, so we planted pines in it straight off. And we harvested, we mainly planted pines on it to stop the erosion, and they did that all right. And then the prices were fairly good, and Ray saw them, and Paul Fitzgerald, and offered us good money for them. That 7 hectares at that time made $198,000, and so then we decided to put macrocarbas in because they were higher producing timber, and so that's what it's in now. It's probably macrocarbas about 15 years old, I think, and so the children have got a share in those too. Well, I do all the work, but they got a share in them, and so that's the story with those. But we had that 600 acres for about 20 years, and this place came up, and I've been on this place now for about just on 15 years, and it gives us a total area of 600 hectares, and of that 500 hectares is in grass. You can see it, grass and erosion trees here, and there's 100 hectares in forestry species. Yeah, about 2 years ago we had a big downpour, and a lot of this country moved that had never moved before, but it just shows you that it could have been a lot worse. This block here is 34-year-old pine trees, and planted by the previous owner. I planted those ones where the macrocarbas are, and he thought it was a good idea, so he had erosion on this side the ridge. I owned the other side, and he had erosion on this side the ridge. So I encouraged him to sort of get a grant from the MAF and plant pine trees on it as well. And I never ever thought I'd be harvesting the pine trees at that time, but it was a good idea, and I bought them off the previous owner, and I had to pay a fair bit for them, but certainly it was a good investment because the reward was well and truly covered the initial cost.